Makes sense. So you mentioned a couple of times now speaking with the feds, and that so you go through decades of living this life, and then all of a sudden that makes a screeching halt, and the new chapter is written. So walk me through fighting the RICO charge with John Gotti and the other top bosses, and what inspired you to say, you know what, because you were the last guy that they ever expected to talk. And I think when people hear your story on why you did, I think they'll understand why.
Well, the FBI, when I cooperated, they were terrified of me. They said, he ain't going to cooperate. It's too... I would busted all my life, murder cases, everything. I never cooperated, and they were offered it to me 1,000 times. They said, it's too strong. It's a trap. He's going to do something crazy. This is not real. That's what they believed in the beginning. But what happened is I got pinched with John Gotti in December of 1990. We were in prison 11 months. John betrayed me. He was setting me up to take the weight. Now, it's a lengthy story. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but he was setting me up. And at the end, he told me, after 11 months in prison with him, and the worst 11 months I did out of 22 years, he didn't want to go to prison. And he told me, he said, Sammy, I'm going to control all the lawyers. The lawyers, I'm complaining about you on tapes, which is all bullshit. He said, but we're going to use that. The lawyers are going to tell the jury. You could hear John complaining about Sammy. He lost control of him. It wasn't John, it was him. And I said, John, don't call John Gotti a rat. It's not, but it's a rat move. We're close. The government's the enemy. I'm not your enemy. You're not my enemy. Not supposed to be. But when you're now setting me up for the kill, you are my enemy. You're the same as them to me. Mm-hmm. So anyway, you're going to do that to me. And I asked him, John, are you sure that's what you want to do? He said, yes, Sammy, I have to. You got to take the weight. I'm the boss. I got to go free. And you got to take the weight. And I said, fuck him, to myself. And fuck the mafia. I got in touch with the government. And I left. I switched sides. John was playing checkers while I was playing chess. And he lost.
Now, when you were speaking with the government, were you impressed by their capacity? Did you think they were incompetent? Like, what was your first impressions when you started talking to them and hearing what they knew?
No, they knew a lot, and they had a lot of confidential informants that verified. They're slick. They're pretty smart. You're talking with a big, very powerful, very smart organization. When I told my stories or things, they already had information and confidential informants, bugs. So they knew that I was never lying with them. I told them the truth. I told them what went on. They were pretty good with me. I'm still friends with some of them. The surprising thing to me is that in the mafia, I was double-crossed. John was the worst, but it's not uncommon in the mob. There was 2 agents who followed me all the time, Frank and Matty. I'm still friends with them. One guy's 82, one guy's 79, a little older than me. And we're still friends. And they never betrayed me, lied to me, or did anything, which amazes me. Because you would think it would be the other way around. But it wasn't. So there's a lot of cops that I know now. I didn't do business with them when I was in the mafia, but I knew them. They were around all the time. But when I cooperated, I got to know them good.
So you went from having this very tight-knit community that you guys would kill for each other. You guys were making lots of money with each other. You were enjoying a very nice life together. What was it like to lose that sense of community?
Well, losing it under that way meant nothing to me. I don't know. Are you married?
Mm-hmm.
You got a great wife.
Yes.
Good.
Wonderful.
And you do everything for her. She does everything for you. You
Right.
have kids?
Not yet, but we're working on it,
Yeah,
Sammy.
you're working on it. And you got a nice smile the way you're smiling about it. Supposing tomorrow she fucking betrays you in the worst possible way. That smile will disappear in 2 seconds and you'll be heartbroken. You will not even believe that she was capable of not only going to bed with somebody, but betraying you in the worst possible way.
So it's like a tree that's died. You just cut it and you leave it behind. It's not the same tree that gave you apples before, and that makes it easy to leave in the past.
Without a doubt.
I guess the comparison I'm trying to draw is, so I wrestled all the way through college. And when I was in college, we were really good. We took second, third, and fourth in the nation. We were beginning of a dynasty and doing things really well. And then when I left and I was in the corporate world for a few years, there's a different sense of camaraderie you have with people that you're sweating and bleeding and traveling around the country and competing with, to guys that are standing around the water cooler talking about the local sports team and the weather. Yeah. And so I felt a huge loss of community when I left college. And luckily I joined a fight gym and I built that back up. And I have it again, and it's wonderful. But I would imagine that, not everybody betrayed you. It was John Gotti. So there's still imagine a lot of people that you had good terms with, but now that you have to leave in the past because of how your life changed.
Well, when I made a deal, I made this deal. It's not on paper, but we made a deal, and it happened. I told the government I will never cooperate against my family. I will never cooperate against my crew. I ordered them to come with me on a piece of work. I could never sit on the stand against them. And there's a woman or two that I've done things with, fix a jury and stuff like that. They didn't even want to get paid. I can't, I will not cooperate against them. I'll tell you the story, but I won't cooperate. They agreed to that. They said, we'll never get to that. So you'll have a 2-year cooperation. If we didn't indict them before that, then it's up to you. So the 2 years passed and I never cooperated against any of them. So there's a lot of people that I didn't betray, that didn't go to jail, and they know who they are. And that's history now, and everybody knows.